6 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Board of Directors meeting for September 12, 2025. Scott will bring our invocation this evening.
Okay, shall we pray? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for a beautiful day today, for an amazing park, and for a great season. Thank you for bringing us all together today, and please bless this meeting. Please give us the information, knowledge, and courage to make the decisions for this park. These decisions are not always easy and at times very difficult, but I think they're in the best interest of this park. Lord, please help us to be polite and respectful to each other during this meeting and always. As the season winds down, grant us safe travels back to our homes, and please keep us safe and healthy throughout the off seasons till we can be reunited back here again next year. And it's in your Son's great name we pray. Amen.
I would invite you to stand in the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Kimberly, if you could do the roll call, please.
Corey Behrens. Rick Day. Here. Pat Dosema. Here. Colin Geibel. Here. Jenny Hager. Here. Kelly Johnson. Here. Larry Munger. Here. Craig Van Beek.
Here.
And Scott Wyman. Here. All present.
Thank you. This brings to our part of member comment on agenda items only. This is not the back and forth section of our meeting. That is after the initial meeting. We'll have a member's question and answer. So this would be just comments on the agenda items. If you have something, please move to the mic here to my left. Give your site and your name if you would, and the time is yours. First call. Seeing none, we'll continue on. I want to thank you, the new board members and the returning board members. I do want to thank Corey and Colin and Kelly. Congratulations on your victory. So we're excited to work with you this coming year. Brings us to our executive committee nominations. I was blessed to be nominated for your chair. I want to thank each and every board member for your faith in me, and I will do the best I can do for each of you and each of you as well in the park. The park means it means a lot to me, more than you can imagine. The time that I've grown up here, worked here, and been on the board. So it's an honor and a privilege to serve you. Beyond that, our secretary, Ginny, has graciously volunteered to continue in that role. Our treasurer, our secretary, Rick Day, wasn't here, so he volunteered for that role. He was voluntold, is what we did there. But for the vice chair, we do have two people that have put their names in for that spot, so Larry Munger and Scott Wyman. In front of you, you have a small piece of paper with two boxes for you to vote. If you could choose one of them, please fold the paper up and then pass it down to your right to Kimberly, please. Kimberly, if you would read the results when you have them.
All right, Scott. 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 I should say Scott Wyman. Scott Wyman. Scott Wyman. Scott Wyman. Larry Munger. And Scott Wyman. So 8-1.
By a vote, the choice is Scott Wyman, so congratulations. I look forward to working with you as Vice Chair. Brings us to approval of new park members. Jeff?
Thank you, Craig. So this is the sales for August 2025 through the park. There was a total of 32 sales. There was 17 through the for sale by owner process, 13 through our sales department, and 2 transfers. A total of 43 new members to the park. And the demographics are 1 20-year-old, 4 30-year-olds, 8 40-year-olds, 13 50-year-olds, 13 60-year-olds, 4 70-year-olds, and no 80-year-olds this month. We had, I think, 1 last month. So total of 43. That is a summary for sales for August 2025.
So I need a motion to approve the new park members.
So moved, Scott.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Our August 2025 minutes, you had those emailed to you, and you also have a hard copy. We need a motion to accept the August 2025 minutes.
So moved, Hager.
Support, Dave.
Any changes or discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Brings us to Kimberly in finance, the Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails financial statements. Kimberly?
Okay, so I'll start with the Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails financial update as of the end of August 2025, year to date. So we've concluded 11 months of our fiscal year and have 1 month remaining. Our operation cash stands at $2.8 million as of the end of the month. Capital cash is at $1.736 million, with the majority of that balance will be transferred to replenish the operation cash for the completed and capitalized expenses at the end of the year. Our net income as of the end of the month is $255,594 compared to $593,103 at the same point last year. This represents a decrease of $337,509, which is attributed to the following. Our facility rentals, this fiscal year, we have noticed a decrease in. Our newsletter advertising, our ad income is increasing, which is great. However, there are related advertising expenses that we just continue to see rise. Tree removal is up $34,000 over last year and is $11,000 over budget. A lot of this is driven from remediation and safety work following the storms that occurred earlier in the year. Social activities increased $19,000 over last year and $17,000 over budget. This is primarily due to expanded recreation programming for senior adults. So that's a good thing. Utilities is up $243,000 over last year and $94,000 over budget. This increase is mainly the result of some extended pump operations to manage our lake levels, as well as the higher overall usage, which was due to the excessive heat we recognized in the season. Lake maintenance is up $150,000 over last year. I should say lake maintenance expense is up $150,000 over last year and $77,000 over budget. And this is reflecting the cleanup efforts over the lake that we had in the off-season. Professional services is up $22,000 from last year and $117,000 overall over budget, and is related to multiple one-time projects, such as our software system implementations, the continuation of our dynamic software, as well as the new North Star software that we are working on implementing. In addition to Whiteman's infrastructure review for capital needs, and we recently had some required Eagle underground storage assessments that needed to be completed. So those are some anticipated and non-recurring costs that we were able to do, but did reflect in the budget. We also have been noticing the property tax and depreciation increases that continue to rise with our improved infrastructure. Our retail operations, the sales performance in retail, this includes the country store, the country cafe, the gas pump, as well as Dairy Dip. And the sales performance in those areas has been strong, especially in relation to the cost of goods sold. However, we have noticed with the Department of Labor changes under the Fair Labor Standard Act and the increased minimum wage pressures to continue to put that added pressure on our labor costs. And last, commission sales, or for the sales department, commission sales is improving as we near our year end. We are still about 18,000 below last year, but on a positive note, we are 81,000 ahead of our budget in that area. For sale by owner, income is up 14,000 compared to last year, and currently 45,000 short of the over annual budget. And then last, the site rental income, which is our camping, is up 13,000 over last year and 47,000 short of our budget with 1 month remaining in the fiscal year. So overall, our financial position for Sandy Pines Trails does remain strong as we head into this final month. And that concludes my review of Sandy Pines.
I need a motion to accept the financial statement presented before us.
So move, Scott. Second, Johnson.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Kimberly, if you would continue the Lake Monterey Golf Course financial statement.
Yes, Lake Monterey Golf Course financial statements as of the end of August 2025 year to date. Our operations cash is up 95,000 compared to last year. Net income is slightly lower, down about $1,100 from prior year. Our gross income is up 19,000 for the month and 34,000 year to date. Looking at our revenue, the revenue performance specifically, the golf memberships and green fees do continue to increase throughout the season. The food sales remain stable. We didn't notice significant increases from the prior year, but we are up 7,800 over budget. The beer and wine sales also performed strongly. It was up year to date and exceeded the budget by 14,000. Then on the expense side, salaries increased slightly. This is also due to the Department of Labor changes with the Fair Labor Standards Act and minimum wage adjustments. And then repairs and maintenance on the course are higher than last year, but they are still 16,000 under budget. Much of this is relating to the ongoing irrigation system repairs that we need to do out in the golf course, which remain to be a significant capital priority that we're looking at going into next year. So looking ahead, the Finance Committee and the Board of Directors, which I should also note, in review of both the financial statements for Sandy Pines and Lake Monterey, it was a quick turnaround. So we met together, which was a great meeting with Sandy Pines and Lake Monterey, and we discussed both of those together, but we're also continuing discussions along with administration, which this is an operations decision, but we are discussing what the next step will be in the loan repayment of the Lake Monterey loan, or I'm sorry, the Lake Monterey loan to Sandy Pines for this year. So each year, about 10 years ago, which I guess I'm dating myself, so when I first started, it was about 25,000. We shortly increased it to 50,000 and then up to 100,000 we were paying each year on the loan. And so that has been decreasing, but the decision of what we're going to do today is going to depend on the significant capital we need for the full irrigation system replacement at the golf course. And that's going to be pending the quotes that we are awaiting to receive and be requested. So rather than borrowing more money, maybe pull back on the loan, take care of it up front, and then continue on after that. But that's going to be an ongoing discussion that we should have an answer to shortly. So overall, Lake Monterey Golf Course has had a strong year and again is well positioned to address the urgent capital needs that the course is looking at. And that concludes my review for Lake Monterey.
I need a motion to approve the August 2025 Lake Monterey Golf Course financial statement as presented. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Brings us to comments of the chairperson and the park president. So a couple things you guys may realize or not realize. Do you know the board of directors has a mission statement? Did you know that? So the mission statement is right on our first page when you open up the footprints. It says Sandy Pines Board of Directors will provide positive leadership and management direction as to ensure the long-term viability and success of Sandy Pines Wilderness Trails. So I'm extremely excited to get to know Colin and Corey. Kelly, I've had the opportunity to work with a little bit. I look forward to working with him to continue. But I know the people on this board take that mission statement very seriously, because it's for us as well. It's not just you, it's all of us together. And so that mission statement is not just a little light blue spot in the footprints. We all take that very seriously. And so I'm excited to see what this group's able to do. Beyond that, I also want to thank the people that came before us. We are where we are because of their service, right? We are where we are because everything that they gave to this park, their time, their heart, their love that they had for the park. And so I want to take a moment just to thank all those people, not just from last year or the year before, but just all these years that we get to enjoy a place that has transformed so much from 50 plus years ago, right? What it was designed to be, pop-up tents and little pop-up campers, right? When it started, 3-wheel Harley Davidson golf carts, if you remember. Scott said he had one. He's dating himself here a little bit. Anyway, as I said, this board really looks forward to what we can do in the future, and know that each and every person up here, as I said, cares very much for Sandy Pines, and as we move forward, our long-term viability. Jeff, any comments?
Yes, thank you, Craig. So again, congratulations to the two newcomers, Colin and Corey. Welcome to the team. Kelly, welcome back. Again, I know we talked about this at the membership annual meeting, but thank you again to Bob Deckinga and Ellen and Paul Peppel for their service and their leadership. But we're excited for this new group to lead us for years to come here. Thank you for a great season to the membership. It was hot. It was really hot, but we had a good season. So a lot of activities, saw a lot of laughter, a lot of things going on positively in the park. So thank you for that. Stay safe during this off season. We want to wish you safe travels and good health, and so you guys can be blessed to come back to Sandy Pines at the beginning of next year. And then we did get word actually this morning, again, if you were here last month, the Lake Committee, actually, was it last month? 2 months ago in July, I'm talking to Val, she's our chairperson, I had to call her out. Through her leadership, the Lake Committee has done a really great job of providing some recommendations, and so we communicated too that the board did approve kind of an ADA walkway with a landing out here for wheelchairs and things of that nature for the beach, and then the kayak launch and the fishing dock or pier over in Phase 6. We signed the contract this morning for the ADA here at the North Shore. They're going to start construction on that starting Monday, so you'll see some activities here with some excavating equipment, getting it all laid out, and some concrete being poured. So that was some good news that we received this morning to kind of end our season. Again, thank you for allowing Kimberly and I to lead the operations team, and board, thank you for all the support. That's all I have. Thanks, Craig.
Thank you. Brings us to old business, which kind of talks about some new business that starts here really soon. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple install, easy, not a big deal. Flip a switch. Can we tell us about that?
Yeah, we're going to do that to Kimberly.
All right, so our new point of sale system, it has been great. So we are looking forward to the new system. Currently we use a system, I actually am not gonna name it here. It is a good system for us, but we are larger than its needs. And then also just our basic accounting software. The last couple of years when we've had our public accountants come in, I have pulled reports off of them and they just look at me saying, this is what you're working with. So it is a sigh of relief to look into a new system that's gonna give us better reporting, better analytics, great reporting, graphs, data that I can provide to you, because just working with the system right now, I don't have the capability to provide all the extra stuff to you. So the new company we are going with is called North Star, which is the point of sale system, and it's bridged out of an overall system called Nexus. And it's also going to be our accounting platform for everything. So when you make a point of sale transaction, it automatically flows into the financial statements. There will still be financial month-end data that needs to be done, as there is with any company, but it's going to significantly reduce the harder labor work hours that we need to do. So I do want to give a shout out to our staff. We had training, so we came back from Labor Day, and we had training. It was intense, from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. So if you went by admin, we were in there from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Wednesday through Friday last week. And every hour to hour and a half, it was a different topic. So depending on which area we were discussing, different managers would come in and out based on the topics that they were seeing. So they put a lot of time and effort in. It is always a little uneasy, anxious to kind of go to a new system because you're familiar with one thing and going into something new, but we do have great staff that's embracing it, kind of overcoming those fears right now, and looking forward to that. So our go live date on it is October 1st, so it's right around the corner. Since our training last week, I have been in daily conversation with the individuals. So the trainer is actually going to be back. He's from the Atlanta area, but coming back here the Monday before October 1st. So 2 days before, Monday and Tuesday, just to kind of help us before we go live. We'll be here with Go Live, and then here all the way through Saturday. So the hands-on approach especially gives us some good comfort in the support we're going to get after we go live too. So, and I think I mentioned at last month's meeting, you will notice some changes. Not significant, hopefully for the better, but your statements will appear different. And when you receive the new statement, you will know we are live. And the other thing too, like I stated, the financial metrics will be a little bit different for you, but hopefully give you better presentation as well. Is there anything else? No. Okay.
So the current system we have is clunky and antiquated, to say the least. And so we're excited about this new system. And I know, Kimberly, you mentioned as well about a test system that some of our employees will be able to log into, right? To be able to work to familiarize themselves with that. So in the off season, some of those people that would be using that are able to log into that to learn some of that, correct? Yeah. So we're really excited about that as it launches. I think it'll be a lot better. I think you'll be surprised. With that said, have a little grace for us as we put that in, if you would. So there will be bumps, there's no question. Brings us to new business. Jeff?
Yeah, thank you. So 3 items on the agenda, contractor off-season schedule. So if you remember, again, last year we went to a part-time park inspector. So park inspector is part-time year-round. Back in the day, we used to have seasonal. If you remember Ralph and Don and that group, they were seasonal, basically from March-ish to October-ish. And then we went to a full-time year-round. That didn't work out as planned. So park inspector is part-time year-round, and his hours basically are done about mid-November-ish. And then he returns, Jim will return back to the park on staff around the beginning, second week of March. So we do have a contractors meeting coming up here in a couple of weeks where we're pulling the contractors together at the end of the season, see how things went for the year, make some communication on some things that we're looking at, get some feedback from them on improvements that we can do. But because Jim's not here, our permitting process has really stopped. And if you remember, part of our permitting process is if you get approved, we need to go take a look at the site before the work is done, and then after the work is done to confirm that your 200 square foot deck is not 1,200 square feet. So with Jim not being here, a lot of the construction work and a lot of the permitted work is not going to be allowed during the off season. That's the same as last year, unless there's an emergent need. I mean, we had a couple of times last year where we had some leaks in roofs and a couple of structures that collapsed. Again, he's around the park. We can reach out to him, but the normal permitting process and permitting work will stop again during the off-season, with the exception of, some site cleanup that doesn't need permitting. That's not through the permitting process. Leaf cleanup, things of that nature. So that will continue the same as it did last year. Which brings me to another topic. There's been a lot of phone calls at member service and emails coming across my desk about the $500 charge to contractors for using the dump station. Why is this? This is new. We're now getting charged more from the contractors. My leaf guy is charging me $25 extra now for my cleanup because the park is charging him $25 per load. One, it's not new. We did this last year. Two, it is on the budget sheet. If you go out to the finance page, you click on the 2026 budget. Three, we did this because we've tried to monitor through cameras, through cards, and things of that nature. Contractors are bringing stuff from outside of Sandy Pines and dumping it at our dump. And we've had this conversation multiple times with the contractors. That's not my stuff. Well, I don't know of anybody that has a stacked washer and dryer in Sandy Pines and a dishwasher in Sandy Pines. So it didn't come from the park. So we rolled this out 2 years ago. It's a $500 charge that they're getting, and if you do the math, it equates to probably 25 loads that they can come in and dump stuff. So some of the contractors, I've been told, are charging hypothetically $25 for an increase for leaves. I would challenge you, that's not the park's fault. There is an increase to them, but if I understand the leaf process and some of the other cleanup process, they go site by site by site. So one of their loads is probably 10 or 12 sites that goes to the dump, not $25 for site 1, $25 for site 2, and all the way to site 12. So this isn't new. We did this last year. And if they are increasing your costs, I apologize, but if you go through our financials, our refuse at the dump and the costs there continue to go through the roof, and we're just trying to get our arms around stopping excess dumps from outside the park into our dump stations, or not our dump stations, but our leaf dump area. Let's see here, docks for the off-season. If you remember, we passed a rule last year that you can, starting around September 15, you can pull your docks out of the water, you can push them all the way up to your retaining wall, pull them up on your site, your lot, and things of that nature, and leave them there as long as they're 10 feet away from that galvanized steel pole, which is the high water mark. Get them 10 feet away from that, and we can allow them to stay there. We did a test run a couple years ago. That went well. Some feedback as we came back this year. Again, it went well. However, there were some stray docks that we couldn't identify. And then we go out to the members as they come back, not my dock, not my dock. So one of the things that we are asking as you guys pull your docks out, push them all the way up, either stop in at the park inspector's office or get something that is laminated that can make it through the winter, put your name and site number on it, because if you're not coming back until June, July, and your dock is still sitting there, we need to know whose it is, and we need to contact you to either have a contractor put it in, or we got to do something as we try to get ready for the season. So that's a little bit of a change there, just a request, but please do that. Other than that, I think it went well, right, Jim? Yes, it did. Yeah, I think it went really well. Last item that I have is capital investment project. So if you remember, we had a town hall with Whiteman Engineering, they outlined all of our structures. They rated them red, yellow, green, red being an emergent need that probably needs to be replaced totally. Yellow is, we could probably fix it up a little bit. Green is, yeah, we're good. We don't have to worry about that for a while. We're going to continue to work on that during the off season. That was just infrastructure. Those were structures throughout the park. The other departments have brought in their requests for, roads, pumper trucks, PSO vehicles as they die, and we're gathering all that cost. We'll continue to work in that during the off season. So stay tuned. We'll probably get some surveys out there to membership. Please be active. We want your input. The plan is we're going to kind of consolidate all this and then bring this out to the membership. Hitting the ground in April, we're going to do a town hall. May, we're going to do a town hall. June, the plan is to try and narrow down cost. Is it a 10-year investment funding? Is it 20 years? Is it 20? What is that? What's it look like? What's it cost to the memberships? And then try and get it on a ballot for next year to vote on. So it's going to be pretty active this off season. I know, again, through Val's leadership at the Lake Committee, we've got, probably 10 or 12 items for the lake that, we need to start thinking about for capital improvement for the lake. So stay tuned on that, but we want to hit the ground running as soon as everybody comes back next spring. And that's all I have, Craig.
All right, thank you for your report. That brings us to the end of our initial meeting. I need a motion to adjourn.
Second, Scott.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, we stand adjourned for this first meeting. This next one is our member question and answer. As I said, this is the one that's more interactive, where you can ask questions and get some feedback. So if you'd like to move over to our left where Ian is by that microphone, stand up there, give us your name and site number. And Kelly nominated Colin and Corey to answer all questions tonight.
Perfect. Yay.
That was Kelly's nomination.
You promise an answer?
We'll do the best we can.
Oh, okay. Marilyn Middleton, 5352, and back to the leaf pickup charge. I just don't feel that I should have to pay for the contractor's dishonesty. I can guarantee you they are not paying a penny out of their pocket, so there's no skin off their nose. What's to prevent them from doing that in the future? So I would suggest that you deactivate their card, make them come through the main gate, and have somebody check their equipment to make sure they're not bringing in stuff from the outside to get rid of.
Yeah, that's going to be a little challenging. I understand because Marilyn, you and I have sat down a couple of times and talked about this. We've tried to monitor the bad behavior and catch the bad behavior. We catch some of it. We're not going to catch all of it. Now, I have talked to some of the contractors specifically for site cleanup and leaves and leaf pickup. And from what I understand, not all of them are raising their costs. Some of them are holding their costs from last year.
So I got a bad one.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but my recommendation is going to be do multiple quotes, and have somebody come out, take a look at your site, have 2-3 of them come out and give you a cost. Because I have talked to some of the contractors as they've come in. They understand that they're not the ones, and so they're not gonna raise their costs.
But are you for sure that the contractors are the ones bringing in the dishwasher and the washer and dryer? It could be one of us hauling it in and getting rid of it. Do you know for a fact?
In full honesty, there's misbehavior from members as well as contractors.
No.
Absolutely. But we have tried to monitor with their cards, with cameras. In volume, they're the ones that are bringing truckloads in. Not all of them, and I hate to say they. Not all of them. There are some offenders in there. They'll bring in a truckload, and those are the ones that unfortunately have kind of gotten us to where we're at.
And what happens if I don't pay that fee to the contractor? He's gonna drop me?
He will probably drop you. That's a question for your contractor, not, but probably.
My contractor has the park contract. So that tells you that.
I know, we've talked. I know exactly who that is.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Kelly McWhorter, K290. No one's even discussed the condition of our lake. Is anybody monitoring the condition of the lake at all?
The fish?
No, the condition
The
of
condition
our
of the lake?
Our lake, I've been here for 45 years. This is the worst I've ever seen this lake. I
Really?
understand it's a dry year. Water level, you
What-
can't control. The
what-
weeds, it's a cesspool right now.
I would challenge your comments on that. If you're talking weeds, I would not disagree with you. Now, we monitor that lake. We have PLM come out on a regular basis. They provide information to us when they do their treatments of the lake. We've had 2 independent companies come out to provide us what we call kind of work plans for our lake, all the way from the shore down to the bottom. They're providing us comprehensive quotes on things that we need to do to get that into that capital investment project. But everybody that we've talked to has said, from the 2019 survey that was done, this lake has made a significant improvement.
If
You've
go-
got fish out there.
No, I know. If you go out in a boat, though, and look at the condition of this lake,
From a boating perspective, it's we have talked about this at the town hall. The Lake Committee had a town hall. We brought it up as well as some of the findings when the Lake Committee provided some recommendations to us. The weeds are out of control, and here's why. We have zebra mussels. Zebra mussels eat everything. When they eat everything, that makes the lake clearer. It's the clearest it's been for a significant amount of time.
I agree with that. That is
Okay, and now that it's clear and it's shallow, the sun gets down to the bottom of the lake, which then sprouts up significant amount of weeds. So then, and actually this is getting into a couple of the write-in questions, so why don't we just go out there and continue to treat the weeds? EGO, through the state of Michigan, only allows us specific periods of time, typically in early spring, to do herbicide treatment for weeds in the lake. We're beyond that. We have asked our treatment company for a couple of exceptions. One of them is in the Phase 6 area where we want to put in that dock and the fishing area and the kayak launch. That's being considered. We might get that approved to do some treatment there. We're looking at harvesters. We're looking at different ways to try and take care of the weeds. But as the lake is clear, the sun goes deeper, and we're going to get weed sprouting out.
Is there a primary reason for and it's a drought year? But are we losing water somewhere?
No, we're not replenishing it. So again, we talked about this, I think last month, was if you get on average a 90-degree day, you're going to lose 3 million gallons of water through just pure evaporation into the atmosphere. Okay, we have 4 pumps. They're all working. They've all been fixed. They're working at 100% capacity. They kick out about 1.7 million gallons. So, pun intended, we're underwater on that.
You're losing.
So we can't keep up. And part of the recommendations from these 2 companies, as well as our treatment, the first thing they've said is, you've got to make certain that your lake is at a stable level. And in order to do that, we have to get additional wells put in. In order to do that, we need to get additional capital funding. Our 10-year capital it has 2 years left. We don't have wells in that capital. We do have some money left over in our lake fund from The assessment, the dam assessment, because again, the team did a good job having some cost savings. We do have some money there. Some of these projects, the one that I just mentioned, the kayak launch, and we are reviewing wells, are going to come out of that, but we're not going to have enough to get the wells that we need to try and get this lake level up to where it needs to be. The other challenge that we have is we need permits for this. When you do a permit for wells, residential wells come first, farming wells come second, recreation is at the bottom of the barrel. So, okay, how do we get to the top, or what are some other alternatives to try and get some water in here to make certain that we've got some stability at our lake level? The Lake Committee is doing an awesome job to try and come up and problem solve all of these. We're just
So do a rain dance and pray for snow, right?
rain dance, pray for, if everybody's going south, that's great for you, but if you're staying here, you know, we need, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 blizzards.
Call me, it's down south.
Okay. Thank you, though. Good question.
So just because privy to conversations as we sit, the board's very aware of where the lake is. And we're also very aware that that is our greatest asset, right? And so we do take it very seriously to work on that lake. You got it. So, all right, thank you. Anyone else?
Can I speak to that a second? We also know.
Jenny, if you would grab the mic.
I just want to say we're not the only lake that is suffering. We know several people in other lakes in Michigan that have not been able to even put their boats in this summer, even in the spring when they came in. And I know other lakes that have like shore stations or the lifts for the boats. They haven't been able to even get those in to be able to put their boat in the lift. It's not just us. It's a dry summer. And again, we're just going to keep praying for rain and praying for a lot of snow this winter, and we'll all go south while that happens. But, you know, a lot of it, unfortunately, we don't have anything to do with it. It's in God's hands.
Thank you, Jenny. Anyone else this evening?
While you guys are thinking, I have a few write-in questions I can fill the time with. Jerry at Site 32 wrote in, can the grandchildren, which are 18 years or older, because they're adults, receive discount at the golf course like associates? Currently, if you're a grandchild, you can do a junior golf. If you're an adult, you're either an associate or a member. So the adult grandchildren kind of fall into this gray area, limbo area. They are Sandy Pines family, shouldn't have to pay the same as public. I would like to see this old rule review and potentially change. Please take this under consideration. Thank you. So if the grandchild or grandchildren are with a member, they can do a member guest, which is a discount. If they come on their own and bring a friend, they get charged as a public rate. One of the things we've given to the golf course is, if you remember, when we passed the assessment 2 years ago, the big mantra was they need to stand on their own financially. That's why we reduced the assessment for the membership. And they are doing a good job. Kimberly just went through the financials. When we think there's some light at the end of the tunnel where we can do some things that we want to do and maybe change some of these rates, we start popping holes in the sprinkler system. So we've got to figure that out. That's a capital issue. So it's not a no, it's not yet that maybe this rate can change, but if they golf with a member, they can do a member guest, and it's at a reduced rate. So good question. And I did talk to Jerry, and she's already left for Florida, so I gave her that input. Steve at Site 5140. Will the park ever consider changing the rule on boat stakes, allowing stake owners to possibly rent or sell their boat stake associated with their site? so as to make it fair to all members to have the ability to obtain a stake from another member that only registers a kayak to it, so as to not forfeit the boat stake and maintain what they believe is an added value to their site. Thank you. So this has been kicked around many times. Right now, I think we brought this up, I want to say in the July board meeting. I don't believe the board's entertaining anything to rent or sell. It's too hard to monitor. It's too hard to manage. A lot of the members, you're right, they have a boat stake. The rule states you only need to register your boat. Don't necessarily have to park a boat there. And a lot of the members who have a boat stake will use that for fishing, swimming for the kids, things of that nature. So I don't think that's on the radar at this moment. These members have also paid a value to have that boat stake. So there's also been questions, if they're not using it, throw it back in the pool for us to use. It's hard to have, all right, so if I'm hypothetically in phase 6 in a cove, and I'm gonna rent that to somebody in phase 4, how are they getting access to it? They're gonna cut through other members' sites to get there if there's no walkway. That poses a problem as well. So at this time, I would say that's not under consideration. Guys are quiet. Any other questions so far? All right, I'll keep going. Again, would like to ask the Lake Monterey Lake Committee the following. What options do we have going forward to help improve our lake? We've kind of talked about this. Besides super rain dances and praying for blizzards during the winter months, I know the lake has 3 pumps with running during the summer. There's 4. So we've already kind of touched on this one. I'll respond in writing, but we've got about 12 items that we're going to get in front of the board and part of that capital investment plan. Brian at site 7026. Is there a plan for lake weed control reduction measures during the off-season or in the spring to avoid excessive weeds next year? Since we suffered through a drought and excessive weeds have grown and hindered plans to install the fishing dock near the marina and boats. We've already answered that one, so I'll respond to Brian in writing. Tim and Patty at site 4488. Is there a cost-effective way to improve the showers in the CCs? They seem to be rarely used, which I'm guessing is partly because the water temperature is not adjustable and is too hot. How expensive would it be to install new faucets? You could upgrade 1 CC in each phase or a few faucets in each CC. We have looked at this, and again, how much money do we want to put into things where we want to have maybe a complete refresh or a complete brand new CC. And a lot of the hot water, I'm not a maintenance guy. Ben won't let me touch anything in the park because I'm not a maintenance guy. But I don't believe it's the faucets. It's a lot of the hot water heaters and things of that nature that are aging. And so we're trying to continue to make certain that they're functional and operational, and they're doing the best they can. But I will pass this on to him and see if there's any other things that they can do. Carol at Site 301. Thank you for announcing in the recent footprints that some of the fees are going up. I visited the finance page and learned that the fees are going up a lot. For example, a lot survey today is $40, but next year it will be $100. I don't think most of the members will go to the finance page on Sandy Pines. Is there a way to include this in the upcoming footprints or get this out to the membership so they're informed on the changes? We did communicate in August the approved budget. We do have some fees that are going up from the Finance Committee recommendations and the board. They are attached to areas of increase that we're seeing through inflation and things of that nature. The budget is out there. You can come and pick one up in the administration office. It is on the website. The challenge with putting it in the footprints is there's not a lot of real estate to put a 17-page budget out there, and I think the fees are probably 5 or 6 pages in full. So we do recommend that it is out there. Go to the bottom of the page at the website, click on the finance button, and pull that one up, and that's where they're at. They're the last 5 to 6 pages. We will take a look and see if there's anything that we can try to maybe put a summary in the footprints to try and get it out there. So those are the write-in questions that I've had. You can tell it's the end of the year. You guys are quiet. We're about 20 minutes into our 30-minute allotted time. If there are no other questions, going once, going twice. All right, we will conclude the Q&A session. Thank you again for a blessed season, and we'll see you next year. Be safe during the off season. God bless you. Thank you.